pieces of silk. So we were talking about this a little bit last week as well, that sometimes we just kind of get there and we want to start the set right away. But a lot of this work is done, to sort of prep the mind and body. These are martial techniques. It's a martial yoga of sorts, getting range of motion and stuff. But a big part of martial technique is getting yourself where you can remember what it feels like to settle, calm down, find center, and find ground. And that's a lot of what's happening at the beginning of a set. You just take a moment and you find center, you calm the mind, you find the ground, because that's what we need for self-defense too. Okay, so we're going to raise those palms up in the front. We're going to gather into fists, and we're going to draw in towards the chest. We're going to turn, settling in the shoulder blades. We're going to engage the shoulder blades to draw the arms back. Rest in through those shoulders, and now drop shoulders. Feel like everything expands. Feet are in the ground, head is up into the sky, and we're pressing out into the iron thread. Now we release the wrists, we soften the arms, we drop the chin. We're going to go into fists with the hands and bring them close to the chest as we fold through the hips. The elbows are heavy, and then we let those hands press to the floor, fingertips facing each other and palms to the floor. From here, we unlock the knees, chin to chest. We're going to roll up from the ground. As we get to about the waist height, we're going to lift up with the palms. We're going to settle when we get to around the shoulder area. We're going to open up through the chest. We're going to engage the shoulder blades. We're going to press the feet into the ground, the rib cage up to the sky. Tailbone settles. And now, tricky here, we're going to engage the shoulder blades and pull back, and we're going to rise right up onto the balls of the feet. And we're going to hold this position as we stretch back, palms towards one another. We're going to scoop into fists. As the fists touch the hip, we're going to let those heels settle. Again, we're going to bring those arms fairly close to the body as we fold forward, but this time we're trying to flatten our back out parallel to the ground. And we're going to reach out in front. We're going to use the shoulder blades to lift up those elbows and then press out the palms. And then release that, chin to chest a little as you roll back up. And we engage the shoulder blades to kind of pull back, strengthen the upper back, open the chest. Our next section is twisting like the dragon. So we're going to let that right hand come around, and the left hand's going to turn in. We're kind of hollowing through the chest and opening the back, and we're going to twist through the spine from the tailbone up to the head and look over the shoulder. Now we're going to rest the left arm. Right arm's going to fall. Left arm rises, right hand turns in towards the hip. And again, turning from the tailbone, vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way up until you're looking over the right shoulder. We're going to rest that right arm. Left arm's going to fall. As the right arm is rising, left hand makes a fist on the hip. And again, we're going to turn through the vertebrae, but this time we're going to tuck that shoulder blade a little too as we draw the elbow around and look over the left shoulder. And then we're going to release that left hand. Right hand falls. Right hand to hip and fist. Shoulder blade engages as we turn through the spine and look over the shoulder. Now both hands are going to go on the hips. And again, we're going to engage those shoulder blades. We're going to squat into our legs, bias the weight into the right so we can step out with the left. Take time and settle into the stance. And now we're going to raise the right arm. Without breaking down the stance, we're going to turn the waist. We're going to lift up the left hand into palm with the index finger facing up. And we're going to pull back with the right hand and press that palm and index finger out to the left. We're going to turn the waist, so we make a fist in the left. We're going to open up that right hand into that index finger raised. And then as we bring our waist back to the center, we pull back with the fist and we press out with the index finger. We want to finish with the fist in the middle of the body with some space between our body and the fist. Good. We're going to rest the arms and step in with that left leg. Now, right hand is going to come up and over the head where we engage the shoulder blade and press the palm while the left hand presses to the ground. Nice breath in and then release that. And they exchange. So now engage that left shoulder blade to turn the fingertips over the head and press down into the right and up through the left. And let that settle. Hands are going to come behind the back. We're going to sink down into the hips. And we're going to step out again with that left leg. Now we're going to make some hip circles here. So we come forward with the pelvis and we make a counterclockwise hip rotation. All the way around, back to center. And now we're going to lunge into our left leg. We're going to lean over to the right. And what we want to do is we want to kind of rest the right shoulder and lift the left shoulder up a bit by turning through the waist. Now we're going to come upright again. We're going to bring the pelvis forward and we're going to do a clockwise rotation all the way around, all the way around. And now we're going to lunge into the right leg. We're going to lean in to the left, left shoulder, left rib cage down, right shoulder, right rib cage up, head looking down at the toes. And then we're going to come up. We're going to push out of the left leg and step in. Let those arms rest beside you. So we're going to isolate the neck now. Think of the torso staying still and turning through the neck as you inhale and look one way, trying to release up at the base of the skull. And then the other. And again, we're going to work on that strength of the upper back by engaging the shoulder blades and pulling the elbows towards one another as the hands go into fists. We're going to sink down. We're going to step out, take a bit of time, open the legs over the knees, over the toes, engage through the lower abdominal, drop the tailbone into the stance. Maintain the stance as we go for a bow and arrow punch. So don't break down your legs. Turn through your trunk, tuck that shoulder blade in, and then slide that punch out as you pull back with the right shoulder blade and our torso is back to the front again. So we turn the trunk while leaving the legs where they are. We reach across with the left hand and now we're going to punch out with the right. Again, we're going to push out of the left and step in. We're going to rest those arms down. So it's like all the tension in the world just drains out of the hands. We're going to open out to the sides. You're going to take a nice deep breath in. We're going to rise up onto the balls of the feet again. And then we're going to close. So we settle, press down, sink into the ground, feet deep into the ground. And we kind of just hold here for a moment with with the fingers kind of turned in. Feels like we can scan through the body, feel how it feels at the end of the set. And then we can finish. Great. And we'll shake it out.